Thank you for coming to Hopkins State of the City 2024. We are going to have a skit tonight. If any of you are familiar with Parks and Rec, it's a little play on government bureaucracy and it's a little awkwardness. So this is kind of meta. It's going to be like awkward within awkward, having council members play Park and Rec folks. But thank you for coming out tonight. We will do our best. Someone said, don't mess up your lines, and I am not going to promise that that's probably going to happen. I want to thank the Park Board member Matthew Miller for being here tonight, Park Board Kristen Hanneman, Dominique and Tracy from Resource West and ICA. Cheryl Joachim is here somewhere. I can't see anyone with these lights. Planning, Jim Green, Hopkins Business and Civic Association. I'll get to you in a second, Danny. Former Mayor Molly Cummings is here this evening. Hopkins Community Cinema Group, the Hopkins Historical Society. They generously gave you those cookies as you were walking in. Yay, cookies. Yeah, yay, cookies. Hopkins Race and Equity Initiative. Pastor John is here from Gethsemane. Ari Lenz from Edina. Don't boo. She's a Hopkins. She lives in Edina, or she lives in Hopkins, sorry. Former Mayor Nelson Berg is here. I think I saw him walking around. City staff that are here tonight. Our consultants, our finance consultants that help us out with all sorts of things in a small city like Hopkins. Super valuable. Thank you for coming out tonight. Jim Shirley, former council members here as well. So thank you all for coming out this evening. And I'm going to make this part of it quick, and we're going to get to our skit. And then I'm going to take my cookie, and I will be back up here in a moment. Hopkins Business and Civic Association President Danny McDonald has a few words that he's going to share with us.
Thanks. Yeah. All right. Speaking in front of a crowd never gets easier. But hey, how's everyone doing? Yeah? Good. All right. When I was trying to think of, so my name is Danny McDonald. I am the president of the Hopkins Business and Civic Association. I also own the State Farm Agency on 19th and Main Street, so if anybody else's rates have gone up, call me. Yeah, so when I was thinking about kind of what I had to say as far as like what's an update with the business community here in Hopkins, the thing that I kept coming back to is a question that I get asked all the dang time, and it's why do I love this city so much, right? I grew up in St. Paul. I don't know a whole heck about it when I came here, but depending on when you asked me, I probably had different answers, but what it all kept coming back to is culture. And coming here tonight and seeing all these incredible restaurants and all these people that are just getting together to support each other, learn about what's going on, find ways to be active in this community. That's what culture is, right? It's what makes people excited to be here, excited to say that they're from Hopkins, excited to support local businesses. And you know, the culture of this city is all around supporting one another, building each other up, diversity, inclusion. It's incredible. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And as a business owner, I can say, you know, from the bottom of my heart in a way that, you know, I probably couldn't express in this 45-minute speech that I'm about to give, just how much that support means. And it goes so much further than that, right? Over the last year, you know, when we think about what culture means, a lot of it is, you know, community engagement, community involvement. We've seen events that the HBCA has been a part of, like Holiday in Hopkins, Halloween in Hopkins, grow. We've seen more kids in the streets, more families out having fun together, supporting one another, stopping by those local businesses. We've seen Raspberry Fest excel. We've seen Main Street Days excel. These community events are what make Hopkins an exciting place to live. We've also seen over the last year or so, a lot of new culture come into town with, you know, if I'm just thinking of going up Main Street, places like, you know, Pango's and Kanako and Brasa and the Tea House that just came in on my west side of Main Street. So we're seeing Main Street grow too, which as a West Sider, I'm very excited to see that growth in that direction. Yeah, come on, West Side. Don't get that much enthusiasm unless you're from the West Side. Then you say that and everybody goes nuts. So yeah, really all I really have to say, one of the things that we've been focused on in the mission of the HBCA is to promote that culture, to nurture that culture, to feed it, to help make sure that as business owners, we have ways that we can work together, operate together, better serve one another, each other's businesses in this community in a way that's more impactful than just the one service or product that we individually provide. So in closing, I know I'm a little short on my time, but in closing, I just want to encourage everyone. I mean, if you're out here tonight, you probably already have a tendency to support, local, but every time you support a local mom and shop business, you're supporting that culture. You're building it into what it can really be and making sure that Hopkins stays an incredible place that it is, both to live and to do business. So thank you all for everything, and we're looking forward to 2024.
Thank you, Danny. Good evening. Welcome to the Hopkins Center for the Arts. My name is Nick Bishop. I'm the city's finance director. You're probably... Thank you. You're probably expecting to see Mike Morrison, the city manager, but I'm filling in for him tonight. So thanks for joining us for one of my favorite nights of the year, Hopkins State of the City. My notes don't say hold for applause, so you're throwing me off. Now here in Hopkins, we do things a little different for State of the City. Rather than one of us standing up here and talking for 30 minutes, we choose a theme, and the city manager or the finance director, the mayor and the city council perform a skit covering city projects and initiatives from the last year. Tonight's skit is a riff on the NBC sitcom Parks and Recreation, starring the following. We have Mayor Patrick Hanlon playing Chris Traeger. Council member Heidi Garrido will be playing Leslie Nope. Council member Brian Hunke as Jerry Gergich. Council member Gerard Balin as Ben Wyatt. Council member Ben Goodlin as Tom Haverford. And myself as Ron Swanson. So here's a quick intro video, and we will get on with the skit. We hope you enjoy.
All right, team, gather round. Ron, Ben, Tom, Jerry, I've called this meeting today for some BS, brainstorming. Pawnee is in need of some fun, fresh, new ideas for 2024. We can only have so many harvest festivals and town hall meetings.
Oh, Leslie, I have so many ideas. Come on, guys. I've been thinking about this for a while.
Stuck with my helmet here. Hello, wonderful people. Sorry I'm late, but I just got back from another amazing city, visiting another amazing city in the Midwest, the city of Hopkins. You won't believe all the innovative things that they're doing over there in Minnesota.
Come on, Chris. Hopkins, Minnesota? I mean, what good things could possibly come from Hopkins, Minnesota? I mean, take Ice Clown over here, for example.
Hey, you guys promised to stop bringing that up.
I don't know, Tom. There are a lot of lakes and woods in Minnesota, and some good opportunities for solitude and to commune with nature.
I'm serious, friends. Hopkins is literally the greatest town in the country, second to Pawnee, of course.
Okay, Chris, let's not get too crazy here. Pawnee is pretty amazing. But okay, tell us more.
You got it, Leslie. At the start of last year, Hopkins City Council met to discuss priorities for the year. Those priorities included community safety, affordable housing and development, sustainability, equity.
What about budget? A successful city requires fiscal responsibility.
Great point, Ben Wyatt. I was getting to that. There are Those were in there too, and Hopkins had great strides at all of these goals, including some of the lowest levy rates in Hennepin County.
Yeah, I want to hear about Hopkins' work around equity. I want to hear about that first, because making equitable access to Pawnee Parks, services, and other opportunities should be at the top of the list for us all.
I like where your head is at, Nope. The city of Hopkins is changing, and they want to ensure that they are listening to all of their residents. They embarked on their first Equity Strategic Action Plan in 2023. The City Council adopted 3 statements regarding diversity, equity, inclusion for organization that will be used to shape future work. The city leaders will continue to work to create meaningful, measurable change within these areas in 2024.
There's no way that cool, inclusive ideas like that came from a bunch of lame, stuffy government employees.
Well, there's a reason for that. Hopkins actually includes a lot of young people in their processes. In 2023, they launched Advancing Careers and Employment program, hosting interns ages 16 to 24 with barriers to employment to help them explore careers, gain professional development, and mentorship experience. It was so successful, Hopkins is conducting this youth program permanently.
Oh, that warms my heart. You know, I started here at the city of Pawnee when I was just
Okay, you've been cut off. Okay.
I'd like to hear about sustainability next, Chris. I want to ensure the tree I buried my money near is going to be around for a very long time. Finding a good spot for this is not as easy as one would think.
Well, to hear Ron Swanson excited about something warms my heart. Wait until you hear about this. In 2023, the city of Hopkins has incentives to residents, businesses, to accelerate transition to cleaner, more efficient energy through the Hopkins Climate Solutions Fund. The city provided grants to residential commercial properties who in turn invested $750,000 in the city of private funds that go into clean energy projects like solar panels and my personal favorite, electric bikes.
Where did they find the money for that?
Another great question. Council dedicated franchise fees that everyone pays on their bills to be used for this fund. It's funds that go back into the hands of the community to help them save on their heating and electric bills. Overall, it creates more wealth than the fees that are charged. Applications will begin for new applications in the spring of 2024.
Wow, Hopkins sounds like such a lovely community. It almost makes me want to move from Pawnee.
Dang it, Larry, don't you ever say that.
Well, Gary, you're not alone in wanting to move to Hopkins. It's a vibrant, growing community. 2023 saw many multi-family housing developments underway. Some people call those apartments. Hallen 1, the Chorus Apartments, both opened in 2023. Vista 44, Ovation, Hallen 2 will be open in 2024. Combined, these developments will add almost 600 new households to Hopkins at a variety of affordability levels, including exciting new retail opportunities.
Speaking of new and exciting, does Hopkins have any trendy restaurants, with tasty apps and desserts?
Well, I'm glad you asked. The City of Hopkins and the Hopkins Business and Civic Association held several ribbon cuttings in 2024 for new businesses where you can go treat yourself. Minneapolis area favorite, Brasa, Pango's Coffee and... There's people out there. Pango's Coffee and Smoothies, Minnesota's first Nikkei with Pisco Bar at Kanako, are some of the notable new Hopkins businesses. Pink Ivy is another one to check out in the coming months. I heard March 5th tonight.
I didn't hear anything about waffles, so that concerns me. But Hopkins does sound like a pretty vibrant and impressive place.
It really is, Leslie. And just wait until you hear about all the public art. The city commissioned 2 artists to create murals on 2 buildings in the downtown Hopkins area. Jerry Jarvis was selected to paint Welcome to Hopkins mural on the Zeller Studio building, and Ernesto Maranje was selected to paint a mural titled Where the Raspberries Grow on the Little Blind Spot building.
But
Let me stop you right there. Ben, American Rescue Plan funds were used to pay for these as well. Murals are intended to welcome visitors, add beauty to daily life, and reinforce the idea that Hopkins is an art-supportive community, all leading to a stronger economic development.
Chris, do you know if they have a city council up there in Hopkins? If we didn't have a city council in Pawnee watching our every move, think of the freedom we would have.
Yeah, in your dreams, Ron. Though I don't entirely disagree with you. Councilmember Jam never makes anything easy for us. Chris, it sounds like with all those extra people moving to town and coming and going, things could get pretty dicey. What is Hopkins doing for community safety?
Great question again, Leslie. Hopkins really focuses on building and maintaining strong community partnerships, engagement opportunities to enhance safety in the community. In 2023, the Hopkins Police Department launched a community education pilot program called Speaking with Police to Educate and Enhance Driver Safety, SPEEDS for short, and held neighborhood meetings throughout the city focused on traffic safety, education, and discussions. The Hopkins Police Department has also partnered with Hennepin County to embed 2 full-time social workers within the department, one specifically for youth, to follow up on mental health-related calls and connect community members with necessary resources. These are just a few examples that relationship really is a public safety strategy, and Hopkins does it well.
You know, connecting with people is one of my favorite parts about working in city government.
All right, you cut off. You cut off.
Well, team, this is a great starting point for Pawnee. Let's get to work on some of those ideas and examples from Hopkins. There's nothing we can't do if we work hard, never sleep, and shirk from all other responsibilities that we have.
Well, I don't think it's an accident that we have all of these arts investments and we have seemingly pro actors as council members. I mean, that's incredible. A big thank you to all of you for joining us tonight. This year was filled with a lot of great accomplishments. This next year is going to be full of a lot of great accomplishments, and I think you can see, as I'm talking with all of you, you can see that all around you of all the great things happening in Hopkins. I will say this, in a state of a city, it's also going to be, there's going to be challenges, and there's going to be tough parts of this year that are coming up. This city is growing quickly, and we haven't had to face that problem, and that, by the way, that's a great problem to have as a city, but we haven't had to have that problem for over 50 years. Or that challenge. And then I think of other things of like, we're likely to head into what may be well, not what may be, it's gonna be an ugly national election. You have international issues that, I don't know about you, but they just feel so out of control or out of our control. And I think at a local level, keeping our small town culture, I'm glad you mentioned, you started out with that. We didn't even organize on that. About keeping that small town culture is really about blocking a lot of that out. And take time to be genuinely kind to each other, even when and especially when we don't agree. I think that is what makes Hopkins great. We're building a lot of great things in this community, but all of us being kind to each other, especially when we don't agree, in this coming year, I think is going to be especially important, and we do that really well, and you all do that really well here in Hopkins. And I want to say thank you to our city staff. They, you know, Leslie Nope mentioned, they just don't sleep, right? To put on events like this, they do a lot of work. So big thank you to the city staff for putting this event on this evening. Especially the administrative folks. And finally, I'd like to give a special shout out to our local businesses and vendors who provided the delicious food and drink. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. I think someone said we've gotten a lot more than just meatballs at these things now. It's amazing food, and we still have meatballs. I think so. It's all good. So it's those businesses that really make this community. When people think about Hopkins, everywhere you go, I'm sure, you talk about Hopkins and they talk about the small businesses. So they really are the lifeblood of this city. And so it's great to have them part of this event. I'm really grateful to be a part of all of this, from working with council, working with city staff, working with all of you. Most importantly, I want to thank you for making this community the wonderful place that it is. So a round of applause for you. So we make these things short and sweet. There's no 60-minute speech on going on with more details on this. If you have questions, please reach out. Please get home safe this evening, and don't forget to grab a copy of our 2023-2024 annual report on your way out if you want some more details. Thank you so much.